Hey guys, welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Monday, it is August 3rd, and we are back bringing you some more player projections for this 6-game slate. Hopefully, you dominated yesterday. Whether or not you were playing MLB, NBA, whatever you were playing, hopefully you absolutely dominated. The scoring has been pretty okay. Some of the projections, so from before the lockdown, we knew the players were going to play 35, 40 minutes. We knew their ceiling was going to be this and that. And we were able to go through it without any hiccups. With this reboot, like we talked about in the first video, you just don't know how hard they're going to play having a restart. The teams aren't playing for home court advantage, being as they're in a bubble and there's no fans. So who are they going to throw out there? That's just kind of what we're looking at. But we're going to bring you as much content as we possibly can, hopefully to help you out. So that's what this video is going to be about. If you haven't been with us before, at each position, we give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value plays and their projected fantasy points. Now, obviously, we can't project, like, for instance, yesterday, Thomas Bryant on Fanduel was 5,400. We're not going to project 58.1 fantasy points. That does happen, but we're trying to give you the best projections we possibly can. So stick around with us. We had success yesterday. Our optimal lineup on Fanduel got 353.2. It did cash. Really high scoring day compared to not being a high as cash as I would have expected with the scores. I guess it really just depends on what contest you're playing. I would assume that's probably it. On Draftkings, we got 346.75. So it really depends on the games you're playing, but our lineups killed it the past couple of days. So hopefully you've been with us. If you have not already, you can go to Fantasy Team Advisors, click the FTA Plus right here, and then you can sign up to win a free 5-day pass. All you have to do is like the video, be a subscriber to the page, and tell me tonight who is going to score the most amount of fantasy points on FanDuel and how many fantasy points are they going to score. If you get close, or if you get the right person and someone else has the same person, it'll come down to Price is Right rules, who is closest to the fantasy points without going over. That being said, let's just dig right in. Any day we don't have an art or a video here on YouTube, we're going to have an article over at FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, so definitely go check that out. Go check that out. If this video gets 30 likes before tip-off, we will give out a FanDuel and DraftKings GPP lineup as well on the site. So let's get started. So we do have a 6-game slate today. For some reason, I can't find any of the... I can't find the 2 first games, over-unders or anything. So let me log in real quick and see. Being 6 games, it kind of sucks if you're playing like when they call it the main slate, because in that sense we have a game at 1:30 Eastern, and then the last game is at 9 Eastern. There are going to be players out there, so whether or not you want to break this down to early only, our lineups are going to be main lineups, but that's just kind of where we're at though. So the first one, Toronto at Miami. This is wrong. Oh, that's first quarter. Oh, here we go. Toronto is a 3.5-point favorite with an over/under of 220.5. 220.5. Denver at Thunder. We've got Denver being a 6-point underdog and an over/under of 219. Now, it will depend on when you watch this video. Those odds probably have changed by then. For whatever reason, that's what happened. So that being said, we can move on. We got Pacers at Washington. Pacers, a 7.5-point favorite with the over/under of 227.5. Memphis at New Orleans. New Orleans is a 4.5-point favorite with the over/under being 237.5. San Antonio at Philly. Philly is a 6.5-point favorite right now. 227.5 total there. And the Lakers at Utah, -6. The over-under is 217. I think it's probably going to go up. As of right now, LeBron and AD are game time decisions, but they aren't scoring as high as we're used to because, they don't have anything to really play for right now other than to get in shape, getting back into ball form, ready to go for when the actual playoffs do occur. So that being said, that is something, you're paying a pretty hefty premium for their mediocrity, basically. Just kind of looking on Fanduel. LeBron played 34 minutes 2 days ago, 38.5 fantasy points. The first game there against the Clippers, 40.7 fantasy points. He's not getting you the points that we need. That's what sucks. Any day he could go off. We know that. But yeah, so let's just jump in. We'll look at point guards, and then we'll get some core plays that we like as well. So looking at point guards, love Ben Simmons here. I think he's in a great spot. Looking at about 45 to 50 fantasy point range. Ja Morant at 40 to 45. Chris Paul at 37 to 40-ish range. Mid-tier picks here, Mike Conley at 33, Derek White at 32, and Aaron Holiday 29. And your value picks here, Kendrick Nunn at 21, Jerome Robinson 21, and T.J. McConnell at 20 fantasy points. Moving to the shooting guard position, you got Jimmy Butler at 45 fantasy points, Drew Holiday 42, DeMar DeRozan 37. Mid-tier, Fred VanVleet 31, Dennis Schroeder 30, Josh Richardson 25. And value picks here, Duncan Robinson 22, Josh Hart 21, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope 19. Now, I did say in the past that Caldwell-Pope would never make a lineup again. Ever. His last game, he scored 7.2 fantasy points on 29 minutes. His previous game, played 29 minutes there, 12.2 fantasy points. He's playing a ton of minutes. He does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing there. I don't trust him. He is there, but if you want to throw him in a contrarian GPP, I don't mind that. But there's no way I'm trusting him in one of my lineups if I'm trying to get some serious money. Moving on to small forward, you got LeBron James at 46. That's not enough for his price. Pascal at 40. Brandon Ingram 40. Mid-tier, Danilo Gallinari at 30. Joe Ingles 26. Justin Holiday 23. And value picks here, Kyle Anderson 21. Jay Crowder 21. And Dion Waiters at 18. Moving on to the power forward here, you got Anthony Davis at 50 fantasy points. That's still his price on FanDuel is $9,600. So he will get the value. He will get at least, if projected, over 5 times value. But you really need 6 or 7 out of him. So GPP-wise, I don't mind him. His price is probably the lowest we'll see quite a long time. Usually he's up in the 11 or 12,000 range. So that being said, use that as caution. You could go down here. You got Bam Adebayo at 41. I love him today. Jaren Jackson, 33. I absolutely love him. Mid-tier here, Brandon Clark at 26. Paul Millsap, 26. Serge Ibaka, 25. And some value, love Royce O'Neal at 23 to 25, but don't be surprised if he does go off again. His last game, O'Neal, he is game time decision with a foot. Let's see if there is any news on him. He's considered probable. Issue doesn't appear to be serious. O'Neal's status is worth monitoring after shoot-around Monday. He did post 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 points, 2 steals 2 days ago. Got 25 fantasy points. His first game back played, and that was only 19 minutes. His first game back was 34 minutes with 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Did have 4 turnovers, but did have 29.3 fantasy points. So he's had over 25 fantasy points in his last, since the restart. And just with his price today would be right about 6 times value, which is exactly what you need. So if he can get up to 29 to 30 fantasy points, he's in a great spot here. The other 2 value picks, Jeremy Grant at 22 and Michael Porter Jr. 22. I don't mind Michael Porter Jr. I would go GPP. Now, if you are building lineups here, I am into the thought process of I'm not really playing any cash games. Just more of dinking and dunking around on GPP. But you can go, like, if I'm playing cash, I'm not playing heads up. I'm not playing double up or quadruple up or tripling up or anything like that. I'm playing 50-50s because those are going to be your best odds in cash. And you can use these lineups. You can tweak them as well. That's the difference between other places. Like, you can find lineup sellers on Twitter. They're aplenty. But what we do is we bring you lineups, we bring you videos, we bring you articles, we bring you a matchup tool, and we bring you cheat sheets. So when you get those lineups, definitely mix and match a little bit. Don't just see that lineup, post that lineup, and that's it. That's where it's different. So that being said, use that for however you want to go around. I would definitely mix and match with all of the tools that we do offer. Then moving to the center position today, you got Joel Embiid at 52. I will not be surprised if Embiid absolutely goes off here. I have him as the picture of the article and video. Since coming back, I mean, his last start August 1st, 34 minutes, 41 points, 80.2 fantasy points. First game, and that was his first game back since March 11th. 80.2. Don't expect a repeat, but I'm looking at least 50. Would not be surprised if he goes for 60 plus as well. Love him. Plus, he's under 10K on Fanduel. Absolutely lock him in. Lock him in right now. Nikola Jokic at 47. We've got Miles Turner at 38. Center position, Thomas Bryant at 36. He absolutely killed it for us yesterday. Jonas Valanciunas at 33, Steven Adams 32, and then value picks here. You got Marcus Gasol at 22, Mason Plumlee 20, and Kelly Olynyk at 20 fantasy points as well. So, like I said, those are just some of the projections. They're not all of them. All of them. Any projection we have above 10 fantasy points, FanDuel and DraftKings are in our cheat sheet, part of our premium content, which you can check out. That being said, I did say we would build a lineup. So just kind of looking at this lineup, I'm already going with Embiid. I'm locking him in at center position. I feel really confident about him. The other ones that we have been looking at, if you go into like looking for core players, Dejounte Murray has been a godsend. Going up against Philly, yeah, they rank first, but it's a different atmosphere. Yesterday, so it's a back-to-back, so be a little bit cautious of that, but 33 minutes there, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 42.5. I think I'm going to lock him in specifically at 5,700, and I'm building a GPP lineup here for sure. But he is part of our field. If you want to pivot off Murray might be the cash option. So you can go off of him. If you want to pivot, Ben Simmons, it's 8,100, the offensive rank against them. I love that. So I'm going to be looking at this Philly-San Antonio game, specifically with it being a 227.5 total. I want to get some exposure to that. So looking at that, that's what we've got going on. Another one is you need to pay attention when you're looking. Let's go small forward here. And this is the one that we've used before, Troy Brown. Off of a lot of radars lately. But looking at game logs, I mean, he did play 38 minutes, 22 points, 49 fantasy points. At his price, he's 4,500. When you look at that, he's also got middle of the pack against him with Indy. I'm locking him in there. Very cheap option. When you're paying up here, you can get a cheaper option here. You don't need to pay up for studs every single position. I love what he's got going on there. And that would be 3 of my plays that I like for my core to build around. If you have any questions at all, comment down below or email me, support@fantasyteamadvisors.com. We are hopefully helping you bring home the bacon. If you have had success, please email me so I can post some success pictures up there. If you want me to black out your name, so people don't have your username, I completely understand that. Let me know that. We're going to be putting a wall of bacon up on the website, just showing off the wins. If you guys would like to use our logo on FanDuel Draftkings, if you win significant amount of money, so anything over $1,000, you're going to get a free year pass as well. So that being said, good luck today. Any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to tell me, be a subscriber and like the video, but who is going to score the most amount of fantasy points today, and how many fantasy points are they going to score? And don't forget, go follow us all on our social media. It's all on the website. If you go to fantasyteamadvisors.com, right at the top of anything is going to have our social media. So go give all of those a follow as well. That's what I've got, guys. Good luck today, and as always, bring home that bacon, guys. Peace.